Who won the Israel-Iran war or the Iran-Israel war? Well, we're gonna hear from both sides and then we're gonna analyze it on our own end to see what really happened, what the facts are, uh, which goal was actually achieved. We're gonna look at everything that happened in the past 12 days. I think it's wow, that's all more than a week. These people have been bombing each other with whatever. Like it's so disgusting in the 20th century to have countries still throwing bombs at each other. Like, I will never support war. I don't know the people who support war. I don't support killing. But yeah, it happened. I'm going to talk about it. But it's disgusting. Let me just put that out here. Okay, so uh, we will watch this video together. It's from Fox News. If you know Fox News, and the US is actually a more pro-Israel media, pro-Trump media. Whatever the president says is right, and that's a pro-Trump media. So let's look at this together, and then after that, we're gonna look at the president's reaction to the ceasefire that just happened, and then we'll go back and look at history, like history, what has happened this past 12 days. We'll just do a recap. We're gonna look at every other thing and what really happened. So stay tuned, guys, and
And destruction they have to face in the 12-day war. This is Fox News is learning new details about how this ceasefire came together at the last minute. A very high-ranking diplomatic source speaking with Fox News says, quote, President Trump spoke with Qatar's emir and informed him the U.S. got Israel to agree to a ceasefire with Iran. The president asked Qatar to help persuade Iran to do the same. Following that, Vice President Vance coordinated with Qatar's prime minister on the details. This source goes on to say this effort proved successful, and following discussions with the Qatari prime minister, the Iranians agreed. The deal was coordinated at the highest level by the president and vice president and the Qatari emir and prime minister directly. Now, there was
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
so from the video we just watched, the two videos, you actually do see the Fox News representative actually said Israel wanted the ceasefire. They were the ones that initiated the ceasefire. There are other news reporters that came out and they said Israel wants a ceasefire. So they are the ones that initiated that ceasefire. And then the information was given back to Iran, and Iran then decided to accept the ceasefire. Well, one thing I'll have to say is if I am winning a war, do you think I want a ceasefire? That's the first thing we have to look at, and we have to be factual about it. If I am winning, if I am leading, do you think I want a ceasefire? And also, another people might say, "Oh, Iran, the goal was to for Israel not to have the nuclear weapon, and they think they did achieve the goal." Now, did they achieve that goal? The goal of actually disarming Iran from having a nuclear weapon, was that achieved? And also, we look at the US side of it. Their own goal was they started with, oh, they want Iran not to have a nuclear weapon, same as the US, same as Israel. Puppet, that's their master. They want to do everything Israel tells them to do. And we'll look if that goal was actually achieved. And at the end of the day, I think Iran's goal was just to destroy Israel. I think that was their own goal, their only goal, because they did not initiate this war. They did not want the war. The war came and met them, and they were like, okay, since if this has happened to me, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to destroy the country. We're also going to look and see, did they achieve that goal? So, from this reporter and what the president is saying, Israel actually asked for the ceasefire, all in the name of they have achieved their goal. And what is their goal? Their goal was to unarm Iran. Iran should not have a nuclear weapon. Weaken the Iranian government, and they were looking for regime change. You're going to see this by the fact that they actually did bomb a prison. You see the video going out, the bomb the prison where political prisoners are being kept. So when you do that and you say you don't want a regime change, it's funny because doing that, releasing political prisoners, is for them to come up and have an uprising. But what all of this did to the Iranian population is the Iranian population, they rallied behind their government. I think it's because they look at what has happened in Iraq, they're looking at Syria, they're looking at Afghanistan, they're looking at Libya, they're looking at Yemen, and they're like, oh, no, 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 we don't want these people in our country. So we better deal with the devil we know than we see what that devil has done. So did weakening the government, the Iranian government, did they really achieve it? Do they think they're going to have a regime change? I personally do not think so because of the videos we're seeing out uh, right now. The president is out there
Now we are
protesting
in
with
the
his
Iranian capital
people.
in Tehran, and we've spoken to
Yes,
a lot of folks here on the
each
street, and a
government
lot of them say
has
they
people
are
that don't
very
support the
angry at the
government,
United States. They
but
voiced that
they
anger
don't
to us
need
and
you to
also
come and bomb their
absolutely ripped
country.
into President
The
Trump.
US has two political
They attacked us, she
parties or
says. We were
whatever they
living our
call
normal
themselves.
lives, and they attacked us.
The one
If
that is
someone
in
strikes
power
the
doesn't
United
support the
States,
one in
would they not
power.
answer? Of
Nobody
course they
has come
would.
to
We're not
destroy
doing
the US.
anything but
So why
defending
is the US
ourselves.
looking for regime change?
Iranian people are people of
Everything
honor,
isn't
and we will
supposed to be
definitely
about the
give a
West, in
strong
my
response.
opinion,
This
but
man
that's just
says
my
we will
opinion.
stand
And it
strongly
is
like we
shared by
have
a
been
whole
for the
lot of
past 40
people. So
years.
it
There
better
is
be
no one
considered by
dirtier
the
than
US.
Trump, he says. First, he gives us
Looking
2
at
weeks
it right
time,
now,
but
these
then after
Iranian
2
people, they're
days,
backing
strikes
the
us.
women
We do not
themselves. They're
have
like,
nuclear
oh no,
weapons,
if I
so
want to
why
take
does he
out my
strike us?
hijab,
Such a
let me
guy
do it
only thinks about his own
by
benefit.
myself. I don't want you to come
I
and tell me
support the
when to
supreme
take off
leader with
my
my life, he
hijab.
says. I approve of him.
You have strengthened that country. That country has unified because they see you, the external person coming up, as their enemy. So the goal of actually a regime change or weakening the country itself, I don't think they achieved it because we also have
Breaking
other
news, Dmitry
countries supporting
Medvedev, who is the
them.
chairman of Russia's Security
Other
Council
countries
and the former
telling them, oh,
president
we're
of
going to
Russia,
help
has
you
said that
now
the
get
only thing
that
the
nuclear
Americans have
weapon.
achieved
So
with their futile
at the end
attack
of
on
the
3
day,
of Iran's
what
nuclear
have you
facilities is a
achieved?
triumphant
Nothing,
Iran,
in my
because the vast
opinion. And
majority of
before
the
you come
world
for
now
me and
feels
say,
that
oh,
Iran
you're
has a right to
biased, you're
nuclear
this,
arms
you're
for its
that.
protection.
First of
And he
all, I
added
am a
that a
Catholic
number of nuclear
Christian,
countries are
so
now ready to
I
provide
am
Iran with
Christ-like.
nuclear warheads from
And
their own
per your
stockpiles. Medvedev
information
did not
about
include any country
Christianity
names.
was supposed to support Israel, I do not support Israel. I do not support bloodthirsty individuals, people whose whole life is fighting and fighting and fighting and killing children. No, I will never support it. And I don't think my God supports that. And the next thing is, I am neither American, Israelian, or Israelite, or whatever, nor Iranian. I am neither of those countries. So I'm just talking from the outskirts. And if you look at what I'm wearing, yeah, I am Cameroonian, but at this moment, I'm no longer Cameroonian. So I, I don't know what you guys are talking about. So I am looking at it from the lens of someone living in the United States and who loves the news. So I'm not picking sides. I'm not going to be biased. I'm just going to put out the facts. And the facts has nothing to do with what has happened in the past. We are looking at this war right now. Iran-Israel war. Who is leading? Who do you think won the war? In my opinion, Israel. No, that's not my opinion. Iran. Iran and the rest, they lose. They just did not lose. Lost big time. You know that as thing that your mom gives you when you're small, right? When they say, "Okay, come here, come and take this, come and take this," and then you come and take it, and then they fuck you. That the one that even you're like, why did I even come here? Who sent that one? That one, yeah. That's what these two countries got because you wanted the regime change, you didn't get it. You say, oh, you don't want them to have nuclear weapons. Still, you don't know where the enriched uranium is.
Inside Iran, the
So
border is about 2
why
hours
did
from
you
here.
start
A
all of
nuclear
this
clock is
nonsense?
ticking. It's almost
The only thing you achieve is
880
killing
pounds of
people.
Iran's 60%
And no
enriched
offense, you
uranium. The
killed
concern is
chemists.
this.
I think that
No
that
one is
should be a
saying
war
in public
crime.
where the
Why are you
highly
killing
enriched uranium is now
atomic
located.
chemists? Why
Power
are you
plants
killing
only
them? For
require
what
the
reason?
radioactive metal to be enriched to 3 to 5%, whereas 90% is required to.
The only thing Israel has actually gained is actually killing a lot of Iranians and killing their top leader. Because at the end of the day, it has made the country stronger. One thing that the West has forgotten is the power of hope, the power of unity. I think the West has forgotten that. The power of unity, the power of people having hope and saying that, no, I don't want this. Just giving them hope, they will stand by you. I think the West has forgotten about it. I think the West has forgotten about all its wars that it fought when the people still believed in their nation. They have forgotten that patriotism, that people still have, that some people still believe that their nations can be good. The West has forgotten about that, what that meant. So they just go around thinking that bombing countries is gonna no, it's not gonna do anything. You've seen it with Gaza. For how long have you guys been bombing Gaza? They're still there. They still hold on. You say you want like how long has it should stop by now, right? It's still there. Let's look at Russia, Ukraine. The way with Europe has abandoned Ukraine and Russia is bombarding them so much right now. People were like, oh no, Russia said they will take it out in 3 days. See, if Russia was fighting just Ukraine, that war wouldn't have lasted 3 days. We all know that. But Russia isn't fighting just Ukraine. Russia is fighting Ukraine, NATO, and the US. I mean, those three organizations. That is what Russia is fighting. Now they have abandoned Ukraine. Ukraine is on its own. So why all this war that you guys go around fighting? What's the reason? There's no reason for all this war. Okay, now we go back now and look at the plan, the U.S. own plan. Oh, they don't want, if Iran has a nuclear bomb, it's going to be deadly. Oh, they always say that to America. They bend the flag. Oh my
flag
goodness,
is actually
Americans
the
have
official,
burned their
most
own flag.
respectful way to
I don't see
retire
you
it.
guys killing
Let me
them.
explain. So
There are
according
many,
to
many
official
Americans that come and
US
say, oh, they
flag
don't like the
code, when a
government. I don't see
flag
you guys
becomes
killing
too
them.
worn or too damaged,
Or is it
then
because
it
it's
must be
another
destroyed
nation?
in a quote-unquote dignified way,
We have
preferably
online, you're
by
going to see
burning
even
it. Now, in this
Israel,
US
people
flag
from
code,
Israel actually
there are a
saying
lot
that
of
they
interesting
don't like
tidbits,
America.
like
I
the
haven't
flag
seen
is
America
never
bombing
supposed to
those
touch the
countries. So
ground,
why
or the
is it
floor,
that
or water.
when this
Now,
one's
the
chance
flag
dead
code
to
is not
America, it's a big
enforceable.
deal.
It
You
is
have to
just
bomb
merely a
it.
set of guidelines.
Why? Why is that so? Why is there so? It's an abomination when they say it, but it's okay when other people say it, especially when Israel says it. Israel has bombed an American ship, and like a ship, like they bombed the ship.
In 1967,
But
during the
America
Six-Day
has said
War,
nothing
the
about
USS
it.
Liberty,
America
a
has
US
clapped for
Navy
them,
spy ship,
given
was
them more
brutally
money,
attacked in international waters off
but
the coast
they
of Egypt.
don't want any
Israeli
other
forces
country
launched
to
a
like.
relentless
Why
assault
the
on the American
hypocrisy?
vessel, using fighter jets,
Okay,
torpedo
they don't want
boats,
nuclear
and
weapon.
napalm bombs.
That's fine.
The
That's good.
attack lasted
Now,
for over an
you
hour,
came out
leaving
with
34
you
American
started by
sailors
saying,
dead.
"Oh, you brought in three planes." Oh, the president. We're gonna play the clip. Okay, you watch the president saying that there were three planes, each carrying two of those bumpers, bomb
Isfahan, Fordo, and Natanz.
that did
And
the
you mentioned
job
the
and
6
that the whole
bunker-busting
place
bombs,
was
Sean, that the president told you about. That means
he
3
used the
B-2
word like
bombers were
destroyed,
involved in the
completely
strikes
destroyed.
tonight
Iran
because
cannot
each
make a
B-2
nuclear
bomber
weapon.
can only carry
Wow,
2 of those
that's what he said.
15-ton bunker-busting
Then there's
bombs.
gonna
So
be a press
that means
conference.
3
Now we're
B-2
not only
bombers were
hearing that there
involved. As
were
we heard from
more
Jennifer's
than
reporting, it's likely
6
deception.
of the bombs. There were actually 18 of those bombs, and there were a lot of planes that flew. Like, with the amount of misinformation that is given out by the US, because I will hold the US to a higher standard because they are the ones that want to claim superiority, right? So we will hold them to a greater standard. But if you get all this misinformation that is coming out, then you start to be worried like, why are you people lying? How did it change from 6 to 18? Who is giving the president wrong information? Like, I think if I was a president, I would be like, okay, how when did it leave from 6 to 18? Okay, now you all have taken all this and you have poured it on 3 nuclear sites in Iran. You have come out and said, oh, we have, with these, the whole site is destroyed. It's fine and it's good. If you look on ChatGPT and you say, looking at the site, I think it's the, I can't pronounce it very well, the Fordon site, your nuclear site. If you look at the site, it is a mountain where they have the underground tunnel that they do the nuclear. I think that technology, we Africans need to learn it on how we can actually go lift up those mountains and build things. We have to learn it. That's what we should be partnering with the Iranians to do. Like, that is good. That is good technology. That's what I'm looking at. So if you go on ChatGPT and say, oh, with these 18 bombs and how many were put in the Odon site, I think about 12 or so were put in the site. Is it enough to destroy that facility? The answer will be almost yes. If you put 12 of those bombs in that site, if you hit the site directly, it's going to destroy the whole thing. But now we're not going to be stupid and just look at it. It is, if you put it one after another, it means you drop one. When one has destroyed to a length, you drop the next one, it goes down. You drop the next one, it goes down, it goes down, it goes down, right to it reaches the site and it destroys it. But looking at satellite images, there are actually 6 penetrating holes in that mountain. It means all of those bombs were not dropped on, like, it wasn't dropped in the same spot to get that effect that ChatGPT is saying. So if you go back to ChatGPT and say, okay, we have 6 holes in this location. 6 multiply, if you divide that by 18, it means about 2 of those, yeah, 2 of those bombs were dropped in one of those holes. Ask ChatGPT that if you drop 2 bombs in that hole, would that affect it? It's not going to affect it. That's the logic that many people don't want to see. They're like, oh, with 12 MOP bombs, you can destroy the site. But no, 12, if you have put them like simultaneously, one after another, this one breaks the surface, it creates that impact, the next one enters, breaks it, it goes down to have that impact. But no, that was not done. What was done is they targeted the windows and the doors in that location, and they dropped those bombs expecting that it's going to have a greater impact. See, whoever brought that idea in in the meeting, the Pentagon meeting, is supposed to be whipped. It means they were not logical. Like, you have to be smart. It's all over. You have to be smart. It is not going. So what it did is actually crack the tunnels and the windows. It didn't destroy anything. I think the facility, Iranians are gonna clean up and regain that facility in under a year or even in under 6 months. So what was it? Why did you have to do that? And then you go around, you see the tweets from the president. People are just a full building still left, and his idea was, oh, this building's actually on the ground. It could like, why did you even go there if you couldn't get the job done?
We have some breaking news right now to share with you. This is the first intelligence assessment from U.S. intelligence about what was really accomplished in those massive U.S. strikes on Iran over the weekend. This is from one of the intelligence agencies, as I said, the DIA. So it's just one of several. So take it in that context. But they assess that the strikes only set Iran's nuclear program back by months, and that these strikes did not destroy Iran's nuclear sites. Now, those are, again, in the context of that's an early assessment, it could change, and there are other intelligence assessments that we will get from the U.S. government. Even with that context, this is hugely significant information because President Trump said immediately after that, and this was echoed by the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, that Iran's nuclear program had been obliterated.
حالا دشمن فکر میکنه که مثلا هسته‌ای ما رو زده، نتنز رو زده، اصفهان رو زده، امروز خوندام مثلا زد. خب ما که قبلش همه مواد رو بردیم، ما ماده‌ای نداشتیم اونجا. همه مواد الان دست ماست. ثانیاً دانشمندا که دست ماست. ثالثاً اون کارخانجاتی که ما تولید ابزار هسته‌ای می‌کردیم که ما کارخانجات هم که داریم. شما بترسید از اینکه ملت ایران رو وادار نکنید که از خط تعیین شده خودش عبور بکنه. دمارتون در میاره. یه بلایی به سر شما میاره که اصلا نه تنها تو منطقه نمیتونید بمونید، در هیچ جای دنیا نمیتونید زندگی کنید. بنابراین ما دنبال این هستیم که دشمن رو با این فناوری ملی که تهدید و تبدیل به فرصت کنیم و از فرصت توانایی‌های جدیدی درست کنیم. خانم شاید باور نکنن عده صحبت‌های منو میشنون. تو همین اسفند ماه که دیگه دوستان ما مطمئن شدن جنگ خواهد شد. دیگه ما به تحلیلامون این رسیدیم که جنگ میشه. از اسفند تا الان توانایی‌های موشکی ما و بعضی از امکانات سایبری ما شاید 5-6 برابر گذشته شده.
That is wastage of American taxpayers' money, in my opinion. Sorry, it's not my it's not my money, but it's your money being wasted because you achieved nothing. Then, coming to the fact that prior to these, you had called Iran and told them that you were coming to do this on these 3 sites. Please tell me, if a thief is calling me and say, "Oh, I'm coming to steal in your house, and I want to take your TV, your laptop, and your iPhone," do you think I will stay in that house or I will keep those things again in that house? I'm stupid. So prior to that, Iran has said they have taken away their enriched uranium and they've secured it in somewhere safe. They had said that over and over. So why did you have to go bomb those nuclear sites? And is that not a crime against, is that not a war crime? Like, uranium is a very toxic material. That's something else we have to look at. Was the goal actually to destroy those sites or to kill the civilians? Did you want a leakage of uranium so that those people no longer exist? Like, what was the goal? What was the goal there? Okay, now you've come up and said, oh, you've achieved your goal, you've succeeded, you've done this, you've done this. These people say, oh, no, you did not succeed. They still have all their 4 kg. Even your people say, oh, they don't know where the uranium is because they didn't hit it. Can you tell us why you did hit those sites? You lost big time. You spent your money, you spent time, sleepless nights, just holding meetings and arranging left, right, and there. Billions of dollars are going up, dollars are going, just to achieve zero macabo, zero, because you achieved nothing. And immediately you did that. If these people had actually lost their uranium material, it would have been devastated to them. But immediately you did that, they came out and said, we're coming for you. And they hit Israel. It means what might say they're saving face, but for how long can you save face? You can save face for long. You can save face for long. So they came out, they continue with their attacks. So for me, that's a zero. You lost money, time, energy. Mid-foil prices go up for no reason. And that was part of your campaign mandate. Lower gas prices. Okay. Now we come to the part of Iran. Iran actually had no gold in this because they were attacked. It was a surprise to them. But what I'll tell them is, even with the ceasefire, they should never let their guard down. Never. They should never let their guard down. I have two sides to the Iranian regime. I have two conspiracy theories. My first conspiracy theory is this: there is a mole in their organization. That mole was caught by the toughest leaders, and that mole was turned. I believe that Iran knew the target to their chemists, but for some reason they were like, okay, maybe this is our opportunity. You target them, we get the war because we are actually prepared for the war. See, with the way Iran fought this war, there's nothing that will tell me that these people were not prepared. They were prepared. Because Israel and America said they have air superiority over Iran. They had infiltrated their government, but still the Iranian were striking. Like they didn't even let their guard down. I believe there was a mole in their government. They discovered who the mole was. They took advantage of that mole and they said, okay, we will see how these events will go along. And I also want to think that Iran wanted to be invaded by America. And if that invasion had come about, that would have been the end of America. We're going to talk about that another day, just because right now there's a ceasefire. I don't want to put it out there, but it's still another conspiracy theory that I'm thinking about. Because the way Iran adjusted to being hit by the by Israel and the US, it's a master plan. I don't care how you look at it, it's a master plan. Because by the look of things, everyone knows that they took them unaware, right? You take me unaware, but I am still coming out of the situation without you ever achieving any of your main goal. So something wasn't really okay. It didn't take long for Iran to organize itself after they were hit by Israel to actually launch their first attack. Now, people will be like, oh, they were launching. Okay, I feel like this is another strategy of them. They launched the first time 100 ballistic missiles. Those were kind of their low-graded missiles, because if we look at it, they actually had some sophisticated things that they kept in their back pocket. And the world is over. We don't know what else is still there. I feel like these people don't even need an atomic bomb or a nuclear weapon, because they have some goodies in their arsenal. They have great things in their arsenal. Okay, let's come. They sent in 100 ballistic missiles. Okay. My thing is, they just wanted to see how the Iron Dome is going to perform. They were looking, okay, we hit this one, this number came through, this one affected the Iron Dome. They got all the information from the topography of the area. They gathered information is key when you're in battle. Information is key. The next time they launch another 100, gather the information, launch another one. Like they did it in different areas, different strategies, and got all this information and saw how they can weaken the Iron Dome. Then the focus on the areas where the Iron Dome was going to be weakened. That is when they started reducing the amount of missiles, bombs that they were sending over there. The numbers started reducing because they had detected where the strike is going to be is going to hit, and where the strike is going to cripple the Iron Dome and all the defense mechanism of Israel. Later on, if you see mid of the war, now they started hitting precise location. Still, some of them, their bombs were were blocked by the Iron Dome. Say, you will not believe that Jordan and other countries are actually, and the US, they are shooting down the bombs that these people are sending. They are shooting them down. But then they are still getting into Israel and they are still hitting the country. Like, see, I do not care what you people say. It is a master plan. These people were prepared for the situation. But they shouldn't let their guard down. They were prepared. Later on, towards the ending of this last 12 days, you'll see that they were sending out just few high-ranking bombs this time. Bombs that would actually destroy things. And these bombs were hitting specific locations in Israel. They hit their stock market. They hit military centers. I don't know. Maybe they should have hit that their war. I don't know. The war that maybe that one should have been one of their targets. I beg, I can laugh also because it's funny. Iran needed to defend itself. Later on, they were hitting precise targets. They were crippling skyscrapers in Israel with lesser bombs this time. America and its allies in that region, even Israel, could not stop them. We also have to look at the fact that Israel says they have air power, like they have they have taken control over the air of Iran. It means that by the time those bombs are even getting up, some are already destroyed. Like, see, Israel should be ashamed to even say that they control the air, because if you control my air and then this number of bombs are still getting into I'm stupid. Like, Israel should be ashamed to make that statement. Israel and the US, that is a big failure on your part. To say that you control people's air, but yet the amount of bombs that pass through that atmosphere, you cannot even imagine. So what control do you have? You have 90% control, but I guess 90% of their weapons went through. So what's the control you guys had? You guys had zero control. You guys were just making noise over and I guess they wanted you guys to be there because they were executing good shots. Like, they were doing good at the end, towards the end. Now we come to the fact of the ceasefire. Okay, you say you want a ceasefire. Fine and good. They've given you. They say you called and say, "Oh, please, we want ceasefire." Now they've given you ceasefire. You, Israel, you still went there and threw number of bombs. Iran had to respond. I don't care who says what. Iran has the right to defend itself. I don't think Israel has the right to defend itself, because Israel has shown that they cannot defend themselves in a humane way. We're giving the story of Gaza. They cannot do it. They are just too barbaric to defend themselves. They are just too barbaric to defend themselves. So that's it. Now, Iran has gotten support not only from
Breaking news, Dmitry
other
Medvedev, who is the chairman of Russia's
countries,
Security
but
Council and the former president of
only
Russia,
not only
has
from
said that the only thing the
their
Americans have
people, right?
achieved
They've
with their
gotten
futile
support from
attack
the
on 3 of Iran's
other
nuclear
countries. I think
facilities
most
is a
African
triumph
countries are
Iran
like,
because the vast
good
majority of the
job.
world now feels that Iran has a
China
right to
is
nuclear
good
arms for
job.
its protection. And he added that a number of nuclear
Russia is like,
countries are
boy,
now
you
ready to
did
provide Iran with
good.
nuclear warheads from their own stockpiles. Medvedev did not include any country names.
And you say, oh, they are the usual factors. Well, those usual factors are doing, they're coming up here. Those usual factors are going to be ruling the world in the next 10 years or so. So it's something to look at. Okay, now you're the US, you have done this. Iran decided to launch a missile in your base in Qatar. Yes, they launched a couple of them and they hit a couple and they got some good hit also, but they just copied your playbook. The playbook that you had called them prior to, telling them that they just gave you the benefit of the doubt. Also, they called you guys, told you, oh, we're gonna hit you this day base, make sure that your people are no longer there, which for me is fair game. That's what they did, which is good. But at least they achieved that goal. Iran will go down in history in this war as the unprovoked party, the party that kept to all the rules, and the party that stood its ground, and the party that succeeded. That's how Iran is gonna go down in history. Israel is just gonna. Israel and the US is just well, people, whatever. Now you're gonna cause this massive problem for yourself, America. They say they're gonna shut the canal where most of your goods pass through. Behold, you want China now to come in and mediate. Can you imagine? The China should come because China's interest is at stake. Who told you China's interest is at stake? No, China's interest is not at stake. People keep on forgetting the relationship Iran has with China. It's an economic relationship. China has built a railway, a train, linking all the neighboring countries in that area directly from Iran to China. They no longer do business by sea. America, you guys are so living in the past. I think this is the year that they did launch that. Oil has been moving by railway from Iran to China, with stops in all the other neighboring countries. Like, China is doing business. They're not doing war. China did not even respond to that because it was like, these people are not even updated. They haven't updated their information. That we're no longer by sea. We're doing railway, and rail is faster, way faster than sea. They have a fast railway that brings goods in and to from China to Iran. It means even if this war had to go through for decades, Iran can do business only with China and can sustain themselves. They sell you oil, you give them goods, whatever they need. So, from all this analysis, please tell me, what do you think actually won the war? Who is your let's know who won this war. Like, we're talking about it. Because for me, Iran did, and Iran did big time. And for me, silently, China did. China just stood there and America gave them like America just gave them everything in a goal of a plate of gold and diamonds and jewelries and everything. China was busy signing deals, America was busy fighting war. And that's how it has always been. And then every time they say, oh, China is not good at business. Oh, see, America has to stop this thing of communist China. Democracy is not for everybody. At least China is a communist China, but they can easily flex and change their rules. America, you're a democracy. You're even unable to change one single rule that your founding fathers created for you thousands upon years ago. So guys, we're gonna do a poll just to see what people are saying about the war. But if you like what I have to say, please subscribe to my channel, follow me. I'm also on TikTok. Follow me and just hear my mind, give me your opinions. I listen, I read all the comments. So thank you. Have a great day. Bye.